Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to take this character here and I am going to rig him. So you can see what he kind of looks like when he's rendered. Okay, and there's some bad spec action here, but whatever. Yeah, so I've got this and I've got advanced skeleton set up over here. La 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 la. Okay, cool. Now, what I'm going to do, I got to clean up my scene. You can go ahead and do all this clean model and all that stuff here. What I'm going to do is I just know that manually I'm going to get rid of some stuff. And there's this geo thing here, and there's like some animation on this. Let's get rid of that. And I'm just going to go in here and, what is it? Delete selected. That'll get rid of my animation. And I do have some bad things happening in here. The arm fins, the teeth bottom, top. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take those two objects there, because I know I've got two sets of teeth. For some reason I felt like that would be kind of neat. Okay, just to make my life easier in the editing process, I'm going to go in here to mesh, and I'm going to hit combine. And then I'm going to delete my history. Boop. There we go. And what else do I have in here? Claws, tongue, teeth. Okay, and fins, back fin. Where's the body? The body's here, and then I've got a group for the eyes. You know, I know these eyes are going to cause me some problemos. Just because there's two pieces here, I think it's going to cause me some problems. So I'm going to try doing my... if I do that, then I have to change the pivot points. I'm just going to move this up to here as I think about this. If you're wondering how I did that, I held down Control and I middle clicked, and you can move and you can change the hierarchy in the hypergraph. But these eyes here, the way that I have them, it's going to cause me problems. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take... Come on, you bastard! I'm going to take these two and I'm going to go ahead and I'll just parent them directly. And these ones here, I'll come back and I might grab these later, but I'm going to get rid of them like that. Okay, just because I know this is potentially going to cause me problems. So, that's clean. And I can go in here and go File, Optimize Scene Size. Okay, get rid of anything that's not part of the scene. And how come that's not parented in? When I select the geo, that's not highlighting. That's weird. And is that just some kind of stupid thing? Yeah, of course. One. Okay. Okay, great. And so I think I put it into this other preview mode so it was easier to look at because of how I have my texture set up. If you were to take a look at my hypershade for this character, you would see that there's something interesting going on. There's a lot of action going on in here that I don't want to talk about. Okay. So, now that I got that set up, I'm just going to go File, and you could just do what it says up here, right? You could go into Pre, let's close this down, and actually where's more stuff to close down? Close down the face. Okay, so Pre, clean the model, okay, and basically you put a group with the word Geo on it, don't do anything else weird, get rid of anything that's over here. I'm just going to do Save Scene As, and this will be... Or maybe I'll even call this Rig Ready. Continue! Okay, and so then what you do is you get yourself a clean scene. So I'll just go to New Scene. Okay. And so in my new scene, and by the way, if you're looking at this, remember that I have my options, display, shape, hidden, underworld nodes, and that's just my cameras. Okay, so clean model, create a new scene, and then you want to reference. And so when I reference, I have noticed that when they reference here, that I tend to prefer this third option because I don't like the extra names and stuff like that on my character, so that's what I do. And I've got a very, very messy file system, don't I? Okay, now where the hell was I? If I go in here to creature body, I guess that's going to be down near the bottom. Your creature rig ready. Okay, just hold on a second. What am I doing? I'm referencing. And I swear I just put it in here. Let's just go for straight Maya files, AC files. And there it is right there. Okay. So I'm just going to reference that. It's in my scene. By the way, I didn't check, and one of the things I probably should have checked is to make sure that these things didn't have... What the hell's that thing? I don't recall that extra thing being in there. Well, anyway, we'll see what happens. Back fin. You can see that none of my translates and rotates here, and scales are they're all zeroed out. Scales are set to 1. Okay, I should have done that before I actually left. Saving the scene. Actually, I'm just going to go back for a second. Open scene. Just want to see. Was I smoking crack? Did I miss that? And showing off there. Ha! What's that thing? It's another body. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, let's do that again. File. Save scene. You want to save it? Continue. I should have optimized too, but file, optimize scene size. Okay, and then save scene. Okay, so that was good that you just saw that I spotted a piece of crap that was going to come and bite me in the ass. Because that can come and get you. And what is it? I've already wasted like, what, 6-7 minutes? So, now, when I go in here, I've got a new scene going. And I reference, okay. When I'm referencing, I'm going to grab the rig ready, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to, you bastard, change that option there. So I hit reference. Boop, and it's in. Okay, so there's all my pieces, and I'm happy and I know it. Then we go to the next thing. Body. Okay. And in here we're going to put in a biped. So I can import in my biped. It's small. It does recommend that you make your character, I think, something like 1/10 the size, but I always make everything real world size, so I don't do that. And then there's extra limbs. I know that this one here is designed to be a character with, if we take a look down here, and maybe do we have a quick joint size? Joint size right here. So you can see how big my joints are. Okay, so they're small. And I want a foot. So what I'm going to do, I'll zoom in so you can see this actually happening. Import foot. And it says ankle already exists, replace. And so now the foot has toes. Okay, the only thing I wish there was an option so you could change the amount of toes, but whatever. So, now that I've got that, I can grab the circle, and I should also have fit mode on. You should see it pop up here. Sometimes, depending upon the renderer you're in, you won't see the fit mode things stand out. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scale tool, and I usually kind of get it to about shoulder-ish length here. Okay, and let's get panels, layouts, 2 panes side by side going. La la la. I'm going to move this over here, just off the screen, as I'm figuring crap out. Okay, and if you grab the root, I'm going to put the root, say, kind of around where the kind of the top of the pelvis would be. Okay, so you in because you got yeah, it works best. I'm always of 2 minds of everything I do. And then this one here, if we look in the front view, let's go to the front. My hip, in this case here, my character's hip is going to be, say, there-ish. I tend to favor this side a little bit, because typically your leg doesn't come over that way too much. And it's going to be up. It's not going to be right crotch level. Okay. And we'll put that one in where the knee is. Okay, and the knee, I typically always put my knee kind of in the middle-ish. Okay, and then ankle, I find if you go down a little bit, here's where your kind of ankle is, and you go down a little bit, that is the best place to be. And there's my heel. I'll put it there. Okay. And let's see, anything else we got to worry about? Maybe I got to worry about the positioning of my knee and my ankle here. What I'll do is I'll typically grab my hip and I'll rotate my hip right to there. Yeah. Okay. And then let's sit down in here. Now I want to get my toes in here. And my toes, what I might do is, let's see, my big toe, good, good, good. Got enough digits? Okay, good. I'm going to go in and use the snapping. And so there's a couple ways. I think you can see mine up here. There's snapped and projected centers is right here. And that's the same thing as right there. Okay, I hit this and it changes up here. So same thing. Now, when you're in template mode, you'll notice that you can't actually snap to things. So I got to go to template mode, and then I'll just go into wireframe. And then when I grab my move tool, you're going to see that this is going to move over here, and it stays snapped inside the geometry. Yay! And my toes are probably not the best ones to look at. Okay, just because my toes here, I'm going to put this in here, are webbed. Okay, so yeah, and let's bring this one up here. Uh-oh. And now I'm just having this, I'm thinking about toes right now, and I'm thinking I was boasting to someone the other day that I can actually pick up a beer can with one foot, and now I think I probably have to prove it. I'm not looking forward to that. Although I can do it, but yeah. Anyway, there. And, okay, let's just say that's good enough. And what does that look like when I rotate around? Those all appear to be centered. And actually, I just realized something else. My toes, my joint for my toes, I typically like that to be kind of here-ish, so I'll say right there. And I'm just going to hold down D, and with D held down, I can move the pivot point of the joint without moving the children. So somewhere so it's kind of in the balls of my feet area. Okay, now I'll go back to moving this one in. And let's go here. Uh-oh, did I get it? Okay, good. I was just used the pick walk. I just went and hit my arrow key to select that joint because it seemed like it was going to be a trouble. And there's my pinky toe. And again, I kind of got to guess where I think my toe is going to go, and then I can't get that one, so I'm just going to go pick walk. I just hit the down arrow on the keyboard, and that pick walked me over there. And this one back here, I have to make a decision. You know, I could be a lazy guy and just put that over in here because that gives me a little bit of flexibility. You know what, I'm going to do that just for the hell of it. Actually, then I got problems here because then that's going to connect to there, isn't it? Now I don't want to add anything to it. I'm going to see what happens if I delete it. I should be fine. Okay, and okay, let's hit that 4 and go into wireframe. What time are we at? 13 minutes? Okay, I was trying to go fast, but I started babbling too much. And again, if you want to move this, you're not sure about where the root should go. You bastard, I freaking hate that little icon thing in there. When I rarely ever change my pivot point like this. If you do go to Windows, Settings, Preferences, into the Preferences, and if you go into, which one is it? It's not Settings, it's something like Selection, and at the very bottom of Selection, no, it's under Manipulators. There, Manipulators, at the very bottom of Manipulators, there's the orientation handle, and I put off my plain handles too because I hate those. So now, when I do this, there, I don't have to worry about that thing popping up. I don't use it that often that it should be a thing. And then this one here, this is going to be my spine. I kind of put this where I figure the rib cage is going to be. Okay, and then I got the chest. I'll put this up here. And I always typically go for the middle-ish. Okay, we don't have snap to projected centers on, but I hope it's not moving. Sometimes that's a pain in the ass. I hope it didn't move the body up and down here just in case. Yeah. And Sorry, I was just checking some features as I was doing this. And so this is my shoulder here. That's actually my scapula joint. And I typically, if I go to the front view, I look where the collarbone is and where the pec is. I tend to come down a bit like that, and I find this gives me a better, up a bit maybe, just a bit down from the collarbone. I think it looks better, it deforms better in my opinion. Remember, it's just my opinion. It's also further forward. I put it closer to the chest here. It just kind of has a nice way that it deforms. Okay, and now I can put on that snapped projected centers again, and I can find my shoulder slightly above the armpit, say there. And actually when I'm here, I might as well just rotate this arm down to help me get things placed. And I can go back to perspective view. Okay, and it feels like if I was looking down from above, that shoulder could go back a little bit. Okay. And then my elbow is going to go right in here. My hand, I always find the wrist, if you favor the inside of the hand just a little bit, the wrist works out better. Okay. Okay, and with my thumb, you've got one, your first digit of your thumb is actually very close to your wrist. And then the next one here is over here. Come on, you bastard! Yeah. Now maybe I made my joint display too small. Okay. And I think that's going to look okay. Okay, hopefully that all works out. And then this one here. Trying to figure out where the finger should be on this is going to be tricky. Okay. Whoop. Okay. And I'll call that good enough. And doot, 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 there. And we got one more to go. And does this have that extra? Oh, it did, and I wasn't paying attention. I'll fix that in a second. Okay. And I'm just putting these at the tip of the claw. I just think that for some reason that might be better. Who knows? And I think that works. Actually, this one here, I'm just going to hold down D and I'm going to move this one back a little bit. Typically, you have to remember that your digits here, this one here should be the shortest, and then it's medium, and that one should be the longest. The distance between the joints, because then you can make a fist properly. If you don't do that, then okay, you're on your own. You got to figure it out. This one here, though, this should be here. This is for spreading your pinky out. So if I move this, if I hold down D when I move it, I can place it over here. So it's a little bit further away. It just helps with spreading out your hand. Okay, and then we go up here, and what have I got? I have got the base of my neck. Okay. And there is my head joint. And that should be right below my earlobe, I find. Okay. And so that's, I'm going to pretend that's my earlobe for my character. I find it a little bit more forgiving to go a little ways into the head than not to go enough. It looks weird. And then this is for my jaw. And that should be in front of my earlobe. Again, this is my opinion. So you can do whatever you want with that opinion. Okay, and then what have I got? Where's the eyes? That's the jaw. Oh, have I missed it? No, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. There's my eyeball right there, I bet. Yeah, there's the eye. So I gotta move the eye up, and I gotta center it into my eyeball. Let's go to the front view. And if I hold down V while I'm moving it, there, V while I'm moving it again, so I can go to the center of the eye, just finding a vertex to snap to. Okay, and then I want this to be in the center of this eye as well, so if I hold down V, line up with that vertex, there. Okay, and it looks like I'm ready to go. 20 minutes of me yakking and setting this all up. Okay, boop. Also, too, you saw me make mistakes at the beginning. Everything didn't go perfect. Okay, and so if I hit 5 here, so we got everything lined up more or less. And then the big, here, I'll put on X-ray joints so you can see all my joints in here. And maybe one other thing, what if I change my joint size a little bit so you can kind of see what I got. Okay, and so I've got everything lined up. And then, I don't need fit mode anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and hit build. And then build. There we go. And my skeleton is in place. The whole rig is in place. Not a problem. Now at this point here, you've got an opportunity. You can just say, you know what, I got what I want. I'm just going to bind my character, and I can go in here and I can select deform joints. This is going to select all the joints you need to bind to, right? And you just grab the geometry, and then you go to set smooth bind options. And I don't always like all these settings, but boom, you can start to, bind, and you can make your own blend shapes and everything like that. And you don't have to worry about all this face rig stuff. Some people get freaked out because face rig works for the most part, but you have to know what you're playing with. Okay, you have to have good edge loops and everything like that. But anything I was going to say, yeah, I can just call it quits right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going, but I just want to select deform joints, set smooth bind options, and what do I like? I like the geodesic voxel, and anything else I want to care about in here, selected joints is on. Great. And I'll just hit bind skin. Okay, I'm just doing the body for now. And I'm going to stop this video. Well, I should test it. Does this work? Hit the rotate tool. It works. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here and I'm going to go to the next phase. One thing you don't want to do, I typically notice, you don't want to stop and close down Maya at this point. Just so you know, you want to keep going. You want to do it all in one shot. But I'm going to stop the video here.